Hello, welcome to Simplifying Fractions. The aim of today's lesson is to help you to simplify any type of fraction. So the learning objective is actually to simplify fractions. There are some key vocabulary I want you to learn before we actually go into the lesson. The first is the term itself, simplifying a fraction. What that means is that you rewrite a fraction in the smallest possible number, top number, and bottom number without changing the value of the fraction. Next, factors. Now, factors are just numbers we can multiply together to get another number. Then we have common factors. When we find the factors of, let's say, two numbers, and then find that some factors are the same, they are called common factors. Prime number. A prime number is a number with two factors only, 1 and itself. Numerators are normally the top numbers in a fraction, and denominators are the bottom numbers. Now, a further explanation about common factors. Let's say I'm asked to find the factors of 12 and 16. The factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And the factors of 16 are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. Now, in the list of factors here for these two numbers, I can see there are factors that are common in both. There's a 1 here and there's a 1 here. So 1 is a common factor of 12 and 16. There is a 2 and there's a 2 here. So 2 is a common factor of 12 and 16. There's also a 4 and a 4 here. So 4 is a common factor of 12 and 16. Now, I just want to give you a list of prime numbers less than 20. Now, if I list them, they are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, and 20. Now that we know some terms, let's go into our lesson. Now, I've got some 3 success criteria that will help you to simplify fractions. The first is for you to know what is meant by simplifying fractions. The second is also that you can write the prime factors of a numerator and a denominator. And the third is that you can even simplify by crossing out common factors at the top and at the bottom. Some things I just want you to note, some concepts. If I have 2 over 2, they can cancel out and is equals to 1. If I gave you 2 sweets to share with 2 children, every child gets 1. 3 divided by 3 is also 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So if you see these as fractions, The numerator here is 4, the denominator here is 4. They cross out to be 1. Something else to note, any number times 1 is that number. For example, if I have 7 times 1 is equals to 7. If I have 5 over 5 times 1 is equals to 1. So how do we go about simplifying this fraction, 25 over 50? There's a procedure I want you to follow. The first is write the prime factors of the numerator 25. How do we do that? Come with me to the right hand side and see my working. Now, the number I'm looking for to find the prime factors for is 25. So let me write it there, which is the numerator. Let me just look at prime factors less than 20, right at the top there. Which is the smallest number that I can multiply by another number to get 25? I know 2 is not a multiple of, it's not a factor of 25. So I cannot multiply anything, any number by 2 to get 25. I cannot multiply anything by 3 to get 25. But I can multiply 5 by 5 to get 25. So the prime factors of 25 are actually 5 and 5. So I'm going to write that here. The prime factors of 25 are 5 and 5. How about the prime factors of 50? Come with me to the right hand side. So again, let me write my 50 here and go to my my list of prime factors less than 20. Starting with the smallest, which is 2, can I multiply anything by 2 to get 50? Yes. Now, 25 times 2 is actually 50. So, but I know that 2 is a prime number. So that is one of my prime numbers, my prime factors. But 25 is not a prime number. So I have to further find prime factors for 25. Already I've done that at the top here. I know is 5 times 5. So the prime factors of 50 are actually 2 times 5 times 5. It doesn't actually matter which order you times them. I can write 5 times 5 times 2. Okay, so let me come and write them next to the 50 here. So the prime factors of 50 are 2 times 5 times 5. So given the fraction 25 over 50, let me write just the prime factors. I know prime factors of 25 was 5 times 5, and the prime factors of 50 are 5 times 5 times 2. But earlier, we said that 5 over 5 is actually 1. They cancel out to be 1. And another 5 over 5 will cancel out to be 1. So at the bottom here, I have 2 remaining. So it will be 1 times 1 times 2, which is 2. And at the top, I'll have 1 times 1, which is 1. So the simplified form of 25 over 50 is actually half. Let's look at another example. How do we go about simplifying 3 over 6? Again, if I follow my steps, I'll find the prime factors of 3. And if you come with me over to the right hand side, I'll write my 3 here. Then if I go to, this actually meant to help me. I know 1 is always a factor of all numbers, so I didn't need to write it. But I know 1 times 3 is actually 3. So the prime factors of 3 are 1 and 3. And then let's find the prime factor of 6. So come with me over to my working side and I'll write the 6. If I go to my list of prime numbers, 2 is the smallest. Can I multiply anything by 2 to get 6? Yes. 2 times 3 is actually a 6, and both are prime numbers. So the prime factors of 6 are 2 and 3. So I'm going to write that here. So let's see how that will help me to simplify 3 over 6. So instead of writing 3 over 6, I'm now going to write the prime numbers, the prime factors. 1 times 3. And then for the 6 is 2 times 3. But earlier we know if the 3 and then the 3 here are common, so I can strike them out. That's equal to 1. What is now remaining is 1 times 1 is 1 and 2 times 1 is 2. So the simplified form of 3, 6 is actually 2. Right. What I want you to do now is to pause the video and then try this. Then we will look at it in the next slide. Thank you. Okay, how did you do? Right, let's do it together. You were given 6 over 20. Again, let's follow the same steps. First, I'm going to find the prime factors for 6. And to do that, come with me over here. Right, if I write my 6 down, I can go to my list of prime factors, prime numbers, and actually start with a smaller one. Look, can I multiply anything by 2 to get 6? Yes. 2 times 3 will give me a 6. Unfortunately, both of these numbers are prime numbers. So the prime factors for 6 are actually 2 and 3. Again, let me look for the prime factors for 20 and come with me to the right hand side, which is this. Again, I'll go to my list of prime numbers less than 20 and start with the smallest. So, can 2 multiply by anything to give me a 20? Yes. I know 2 times 10 is 20. So I'll write my first prime number, which is prime factor, which is 2. But 10 is not a prime number, so I have to find prime factors for 10. Now, with a 10, I can again go to my list of factors here and say, is 2 a multiple of, can I multiply 2 by anything to give me 10? Yes, I can multiply 2 and 5 to give me 10. And both of these numbers are prime numbers, so I can come and write them here. 2 multiplied by 5 is a 10. So actually, the prime factors, all the prime factors of 20 are 2, 2, and 5. So I'm now going to write them over here. To simplify 3 over 6, to simplify 6 over 20, I'm now going to write the prime numbers, the prime factors instead, So the 6 will be 2 times 3, which is here. And then the 20 will be 2 times 2 times 5. Now, I know this 2 and this 2 can cross out, but the rest cannot. So I'll leave it like that and multiply the 2 times 5, which is 10, and the remaining 3. So the simplified form of 6 over 20 is actually 3 over 10. So, time to do some work. I want you to, when you go to the work, you double click the icon and then it will take you to the work. The mild is the one with the 1 star, is easier than the medium. The medium is kind of in between. It's not as challenging as the hot. Okay, please don't look at the answers before doing the work. I'll prefer that you do the work before you look at the answers. Now for the mild, the work is on the first page, page 1, and then the answers are on the second page. For the medium, the work is on the third page and the answers are on the fourth. And for the hot, the work is on the 5th page and the answers are on the 6th. Now, what I want you to test yourself is look at one of the examples that you really did well in. Now, call a guardian or a sibling and just show them the steps that you followed to a successful answer. As a reflection, can you tell me what is meant by simplifying fractions? Can you also write all the prime factors of numerators and denominators? And can you even simplify by crossing out common factors of the top and bottom numbers? If you were able to do that, well done. You can now simplify fractions.